Hi, everybody. Evzerverdakis with Holistic Healing Astrology. And today we're going to talk about the 7 planets that are retrograde. So let's look right now on the ephemeris, okay? Ephemeris is a book or software program that shows you the planetary positions at a specific date, okay? So right here on the 31st of August, and this is Greenwich Standard Time, and then this is calibrated here for 5 hours away from Greenwich Mountain Greenwich time. So anyhow, that will show the precise time. Okay, so let's look at the 31st, which is today, Thursday, and we look down here. Now, the sun and the moon never go retrograde, okay? The nodes, they're usually retrograde, so I don't count that energy. We've got Mercury retrograde, and the planets are lined up from closest to the sun to, which is the moon, right? This is abstract point here, but the sun and then the moon is closest, then Mercury, Venus. So Mercury, Venus is retrograde. Mars is direct. Jupiter's direct. Saturn is retrograde right now. Uranus just went retrograde, so it's still in the stationing position. And we have Neptune retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Chiron retrograde. Okay, so we're going to just break it down, and I'm going to give you a general outlook and then specifically what each planet means. Okay, so that's how you could look at the ephemeris, and you just plug it in here. Then we could look at the sky now, which is more visual instead of just the listing. All right. Also, ephemeris has your ingresses, which is when the sun or another planet goes into a new sign. So every month the sun goes into a new sign. Just went into Virgo, but Mars just went into Libra. Okay, and this is Eastern time right here. We have all the moon phases, which show you the moon phases. So right now we have a full moon, which is the sun and the moon opposite. So the moon is in Pisces, the sun is in Virgo. Okay, so it's a blue moon because guess what? There were 2 full moons this month. That's what a blue moon means. And they're super moons because they're very close to the earth. So we're going to talk about that by looking at the sky now. So as we look at the wheel, which represents the sky, the outer ring is where the signs are, and we always use degrees that give us the exact position of the sign on the cusp of these houses, 1 through 12. And I'm going to go quickly because for those of you that know the astrology, you could follow along. If you're stuck at any point, you could search on my YouTube channel and find the appropriate video that will help you moving along. Okay, so let's start with the closest to the sun. So Mercury is retrograde in an earth sign. Okay, so communication could be very methodical, analytical, maybe a little slow moving, but that retrograde means to review, to rewind. All right, so we're going to be analyzing stuff, but going inward, not changing anything yet because it's retrograde. Then the next one is Venus in Leo. That's a sun sign. Sorry, that's fire. That's a fire sign. And the ruler is the sun. Okay, but it's retrograde. Venus has to do with money, love, attraction, what you value. All right, but it's in the sign of being the king, the rich life, rich food, riches, money just going through your hands, spending it very generously, or spending with the heart, because you're involved with the heart. But that's why it's a time to rewind and to review and go inward. What do I love? What kind of riches do I love? What does my heart tell me? Go inward, okay? So the next planet closest is going to be Saturn, all right? So Saturn is retrograde in Pisces. Now, Saturn has the opposite kind of energy as Pisces. So Saturn represents discipline. It represents boundaries, structure, blocks, limited thinking, that kind of heavy energy. And it's the last visible planet in the sky, all right? It's in a water sign of Pisces, which is a very spiritual sign, which calls for us to go with the flow and go inward. So with this full moon, because we have the moon right next door to the Saturn, with this full moon, with the sun opposite the moon in Pisces, we're called to kind of go inward, all right? Take a fantasy trip, go inward, meditate, and don't do anything. Relax, be alone, go to sleep, lay down, all right? So, and this too, the Venus retrograde could mean like, let's go on vacation. Let's just do nothing, all right? So that's the Saturn element. Then we also have the Uranus is retrograde. Uranus is a lightning bolt. It's an awakening. It is going to a higher perspective. When you're at the 100th floor of a building, you can see far greater, far wider. You get to see a lot more than if you're on the ground floor. So that's what Uranus represents, but it's also revealing, very revealing. And it tends to be the lightning bolt, very shocking, sudden information. And it's in the sign of Taurus, which is an earth sign. So we've had this Mercury communication in the earth sign, and then this Uranus retrograde in the earth sign. So it could be anything from earthquakes, crazy weather, affecting the earth, changing the earth, and that kind of energy, all right? It's also revealing maybe things that were kept secret that have to do with possessions, money, resources, okay, that affect your pocketbook. So that's Uranus in Taurus. And then we have Chiron, right? We have Chiron retrograde. Chiron is an asteroid. It's the healer. It's our wounds and suffering. And it's in Aries, which is a fire sign. And it has to do with beginnings, initiating, and even warrior type energy. Okay. So there are many key words, but the thing is, you got to look at the general energies, and then you reflect it back on your chart. So then the second to the last one is Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, so that makes it doubly strong, and it's retrograde. So that's the whole mysterious fantasy land. It's the area of the subconscious. It's mysterious. It's a deep ocean, okay? And it's in rulership. So it's a time to go in. So you see the theme now. There's a major shift. It's affecting the whole world. These planets are affecting everybody. And the last one is Pluto in Capricorn, which has to do with corporate structures, business. It's retrograde. But it's the last time it's going to be retrograde in Capricorn for 248 years. Pluto stays in a sign for approximately between 14 to 20 something years. It's going to go into Aquarius right here, Aquarius, for about 21 years. And that will be at the end of the year, beginning of next year. But we will be feeling it now. You could feel that energy now, all this corruption. People are processing Mercury retrograde. We're getting bombarded with all this energy. This is Pluto ending and new beginnings. What happened in Maui was a definite Pluto energy. Uranus is shocking and unbelievable, but to wake us up, and that has to do with Earth and possessions. All right. So that's how we look at what is going on with the planets out there in the sky. So then you're going to look at how it reflects to your chart. And I'm just going to pull up one of my random charts. Okay. I'm going to slow this down. So over here, you see a biwheel, and the outside rim is the current position of the planets, as I explained. And then you could see how these retrogrades are affecting individuals' natal charts over here. And all you do is kind of look at, the first thing you want to look at is conjunctions. So there's a north node, south node, influence on Neptune over here, right? And then you just go around bit by bit, and you could see that there's a little bit of restriction in the home life for this individual, right? And then you elaborate on that. But the first thing you do as an astrologer is you analyze it and match up the numbers. But this here with Black Moon Lilith, 26 degrees Leo, is conjunct natal Pluto, 26 degrees Leo, and Jupiter, 24 degrees Leo. So this has to do with career. So we would talk to the client and find out what exactly is going on. The astrologer does not tell you this is what's going to happen. We have a conversation. So what is it about your career that you want to change in a real powerful way? Like you're going to be ruthless about changing it. Or maybe you're really into human trafficking or pornography, and you want to eradicate that. You want to work on something global, all right? And help children, okay? Because Leo has to do with children. Or open up people's hearts that have been victimized by this awful atrocity, okay? That's how it works. Just a little glimpse. Please comment below. Evzer Verdakis, Holistic Healing Astrology. If you're in Virginia Beach, look me up. I have a pop-up where we could meet face-to-face. And I love you guys, and we'll see each other again. And have a great day. Enjoy the retrograde. It's going to last for a little bit, okay?